So we are here outside the parking lot to work, where all great podcast ideas are created and conceived. I'm here with fan and critic of the show, Rachel. Yes, I am. I'm putting you on the spot.
Do not do this to me right now.
Why not?
It's too early for this, Michael.
It's never too early to, get on the record.
No, it's way too early.
Really?
It is, yes.
Oh.
I'm off of caffeine. I can't do this. I'm suffering.
Hey, I'm suffering too. I got to start doing a new podcast, and I need to figure out a format for it. I mean, you have ideas. Just want to see if I could pick your brain a little bit. What should I go with? I mean, should I still be under comedy? Should I be like personal blog? Should I be a cooking show? What the hell should I do?
Go with cooking show. I like cooking. Plus I'm hungry.
With this job, you're always hungry. I mean, we're freaking burning calories left to right. Oh yeah, that's right. We can't talk about our jobs, right?
We cannot. No.
No. I mean, so if I can't mention anything about the job because it's like a security thing, right?
It is. We're top secret individuals over here.
Okay.
Top secret.
So I can't talk about a 1571.
No, you cannot. The CIA will come for us.
How about a 3996?
Nope, not that
No?
either.
No?
That's even worse.
Form 13?
Nope. No.
A 524?
I don't even know what these are anymore.
I made that one up.
I was gonna say. Jesus.
We probably would get a lot of listeners if we were a podcast about the job that we do. Can we at least say what we do? No, or we get shot?
Should we walk on the wild side? I don't know. There's a sniper up there. I see him.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The guy right at me, the crosshair. I'm in the crosshairs.
I see the red dot on your forehead, Michael. Don't wait.
It might be just the recording button.
I don't know.
It's just illuminating.
There's 4 more of them now, Michael.
Oh, geez. Oh, God. All right. Well, we'll continue this process later of ideas. This meeting of the minds. Stay tuned, everybody. All right, you're going to go on record and tell me exactly what are the positives and negatives of the new format of this fucking podcast.
The new format?
Yes, the new format. What is the positives? What are the negatives? Let's break it down. I've already released a couple of episodes, and I need to know. I ask for your feedback constantly. I'll admit it. I always ask for feedback among my coworkers, especially you. So, what are the positives and the negatives of the new format?
Good Lord. Now you're just catching me off guard. That's not fair.
Yes, I know.
Well, let's see. The positives are definitely the general quality of content, mainly the inappropriateness of the last one compared to the actual information that we get out of this one. Knowledge-based things, not...
See, I'm trying to be more... I'm trying to keep it easier to listen to. It's easier on the ear. It's not a jumble. It's not a mess of different voices, just drilling into you. I don't know. I know I don't have the greatest voice. I've been told a couple of times my voice can put people to sleep.
Oh, that's not true.
You've said it. There's another person out there, and you know who you are, has said the same thing. It's like, I always listen to before I take a nap or go to bed.
You are taking my words out of context.
And I'm just
sir.
You suck.
No.
It's like...
No. That is not what I said.
That is terrible. Terrible.
That
is not a boost of ego at all. I am not galvanized to continue forward. But yet I still do. How do I do this? How do I muster it? I don't know. I just keep going.
To be clear, I did not say that it put me to sleep. I said that it was quality entertainment that I could listen to while I was trying to fall asleep. Different. Completely different. How dare
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Well, I'm always right, so...
I don't think you are.
I think I always am. Women are always right. Your life will be so much easier when you admit that.
Fake news. False fact.
Really now? I
Yeah.
don't know. You should do a poll on that one.
Yeah, that'll probably go up on the Palaver Project poll. I haven't done a poll in a while. I've kind of given up on the polls when it was like about, like 6 to 12 people who actually did them. Maybe not. That was on the bright side. I mean, most of the time it was 4.
Well, like I've told you, Michael, you have to get it out there. People don't know to look for it. That's why when you boost things, you get all kinds of people looking at it.
You know, you think boosting would help.
It did.
It does to make it look like, oh wow, people are actually liking and reacting to the post, to a Facebook post, Facebook and Instagram primarily.
Yes.
Ask me how many listens I got out of that. And the ratio between listens and reactions.
I would say 25% of the reactions actually turned into listens. Is that it?
Nope.
Oh.
Less.
I was trying to be positive here,
Let's
Michael.
go lower.
Power of positive thinking.
I gotta be realistic with the dozens of fans that are listening right now, listeners.
To be fair, I am technology disabled, so I only look at Facebook, so I don't really know what's happening on the other ones. But
Instagram, we're doing okay. I mean, as of right now, to be completely honest to all the listeners, Facebook followers are around 64. There used to be 67, 68, but after the original crew were shunned away.
all the ones that tuned in to hear Oscar say penis all the time?
Yes, those folks, those diehard
those
Oscar
3
fans
people.
have abandoned.
That Oscar,
they have
3
forsaken
fans.
the podcast because of their sudden removal from the group. Yeah, I know it's a bummer.
The world is ending and the bees are dying. So.
The bees are dying, but this podcast isn't dying. Not yet.
Not. It still has some life in it.
Yes, it's still soldiering on. And okay, I want to explain because I feel like I gave a little explanation in the first couple of episodes of the original, like of the not reboot, but like the post group, the post group collaboration. It's hard to talk shit, and
really,
I don't want to.
Michael, you find it hard to talk shit. I find that hard to believe. Come on, I'm calling you out.
Yes. Okay. Look.
Spit it out.
To me, the Palaver Project, it was going to be a group collaboration, but I wanted it to be more than just, we all just kind of drink a couple of brews and sit behind a mic and shoot the shit and, let the podcast gods sort it out, just let them sort it out, whatever fucking mess we spew on there.
That did go off the rails a bit, yes.
But did you know that you actually have to edit and clean up shit to be able to make it sound somewhat darn, near professional?
Correction, you had to edit.
Correct. Yes, that's I had to edit. I had to edit every single one of those episodes on my own.
How much hair did you lose doing that, Michael?
It's quite a bit.
Aww.
Quite a bit. You know what? I don't think I've been slowly but surely losing hair, but I think it's gotten a little more white. I think it's graying now. It's graying on the sides. Yeah. I mean,
it's been rough.
Going through it and getting the constant feedback, seeking feedback, because I'll be honest. I mean, the only feedback people were giving to like Oscar and Moses and Thomas were probably their immediate circle.
Yes.
I mean, even Moses was like saying like no one's really like there's a few people that were like giving him feedback, but like it wasn't like these were constant listeners,
Yeah. You did get feedback on that one Warrior episode. That was good feedback.
Yeah, that was that. Yes. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. Yes, I had to reach out to you. The secret's out. Yes, a lot of the people who listen from my end, my friends, they actually have been like contributing.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be Rachel, you've been sending out the comments. I mean Mary too. Mary is always like she's a pal of mine as well.
Yeah.
And she's been able to be like vocal on the podcast on Facebook, and I enjoy that. I love getting the feedback. My brother Christian once in a while, Stefan has done it too.
Say Stefan has done it a couple of times. Yeah.
They've been really helpful in trying to kind of create dialogue on there, and I got to give them credit. And I have to thank them. Thank you. And so it's been tough because you think with you hear Moses and you hear Oscar and you hear Thomas to an extent. They're charismatic guys, right? They have personalities.
They do. Some are more negative or inappropriate than others.
Some?
Some, yes. Thomas.
Yeah. But
I had something in my throat, sorry.
Yeah, but they don't seem to be garnering like enough of a they don't garner followers. As much as it pains me to say, it's like if they weren't really like going out there to try to gain like an audience. They were just fucking there just to talk and drink some beer and have time, hang out with friends, which is okay, which is fine. But I'm another thing, podcasts aren't free. Did you know that?
I did not.
In order to be able to post the podcast, you have to host it somewhere. So I have to put it on a hosting site, and that cost me about $15 a month. Yeah. Which is it's cool. I don't mind paying out of pocket to do it as long as we put out quality content. And the quality content that requires editing, which I edit up through Audacity, and I handle the files. I edit. I put in the music. I move the audio around so that we can have that code open and then the music and then go straight into the ha-has and shit. Generating topics. That was something that was really hard to pull off because trying to get feedback from the guys about the podcast was rough. Getting them to agree on a topic was even worse.
That is true. I have seen the text messages.
And when they do decide a text message, it's like the day of the recording.
An hour before.
I mean, they ghost me so much on feedback on the podcast, on topic ideas, on agreeing to topic ideas. I don't want to. I'm shitting on mostly on Moses. Oscar and Thomas.
Okay, you just said all three names.
I did say all three. I need to be more specific. Oscar was like one of the worst ones towards the end. Thomas, he's been notorious he's been always a constant ghoster.
He did donate though, didn't he?
He did donate, which I did refund him once I told him, you're phasing you out. You and Oscar and Moses is on a hiatus, so he's out too. Which I want to point out, Moses has been the one who kind of contributes the most creatively.
I do agree, yes.
And I think at the end, feedback-wise, he was really trying to acquiesce to my needs, creatively. He would try to give me much more feedback.
Yeah.
But I think it hit a point where I was telling these guys we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to take more pictures, try to do more videos, conceptualize more ideas and actually act upon them.
Yeah, we had a nice chat about doing videos, and then nothing ever really came out of that.
Nothing ever did come out of it.
I was kind of excited about that too.
We needed to do a second part to the Build a Warrior episode. It never came to fruition.
Although Thomas did nag quite frequently, but never actually did anything about it.
Which that in itself is a fucking
very helpful, Thomas. Very helpful.
It sucks because you think of all the complaints they would be driven to
produce something better. I mean, we're all fucking 30-something years old.
Speak for yourself.
So, yes, for the guys, we're 30-something years old.
I'm still a young 28. Thank you very much.
My idea was to like do something. Like, we're all creative people. Let's actually show it.
Very true.
And I'm tired of just talking like, what if we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do this? And I actually want to do it. Thomas was flat out, just said, you know what? I don't have time. I can't help. I would love to help you edit. I just don't have time. Oscar's mentality. Oscar is a guy who just like wait and see to like the nth degree. That's his philosophy.
The procrastinator.
It's just like, I can't make it feel like work, because if I make it feel like work, I won't be inspired. I just won't want to do it anymore. And I think that's what he was trying to tell me. He was trying to tell me that I make it sound like work.
Fair enough.
And I do. I guess I am trying to create something, and I'm trying to put effort into it. And so yeah, it does require work. It's a labor. It's a labor of love.
Any quality product requires that you put some form of effort into it. I mean, it's not all going to be shits and giggles all the time.
I was on Twitter the other day, and this guy, I guess there was this post that this guy was saying that making a podcast is easy. And like a bunch of independent podcasters went on like a trolls fest on them, saying like, hey, you don't know the work that it's put into it. The audio editing, the criticism that you get, that you have to constantly adapt to ever-changing landscape and of audiences, because the audience don't stay forever. Yeah. They'll listen to a podcast for a little bit, and then they'll find something new to go with. Yeah. So you're dealing with a change of audience. You're dealing with a with demand of like quality audio. So you're gonna have to upgrade on your mics, location. You have to deal with the editor itself, learning these software programs and trying to mix and match shit and make it sound fluid.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a task, and you have to educate yourself. So props to the people who do audio drama, who have to actually create like a story on audio and do it by looking for, creating sound bites and sound effects and coming up with different voices and finding voice actors and getting them all to agree. This episode of the Palaver Project is brought to you by Crafty Gal Liz. Crafty Gal Liz, adding a little personal touch to your home decor. Email her at craftygalliz@yahoo.com or subscribe to her Instagram page and see all her wonderful work. That's Crafty Gal Liz. Crafty Gal Liz. So I got a lot of shit about the hilarious death episode, and with just cause. I mean, it was for the right reasons, and for the people around me, the people that are listening to the podcast, that I interact with on a daily basis, telling me like, this is not a good look for you. I had to make a change. So I'm sorry for the Moses fans out there, for the Oscar fans out there, and the Thomas fans. His girlfriend. I mean, I'm sorry for cutting them out of the podcast. I'm honestly really sorry that Moses is out, because Moses is the most charismatic and fun-loving one. But
he at least tried.
He tried. I mean, there were moments where they got dark.
Well, yeah, but he fed off of Thomas a lot, though, too, Mr. Captain Negativity over there. And
Moses will admit to himself, he loves the attention. He's an attention whore to an extent where he needs to end it on his point, or he needs to shine. So,
and that's not always a bad thing, though. You need to have, you have to have a variety of people in every group. Maybe.
It's all right to have an ego.
Yeah, if you're doing something for media, that's what media is.
So, yeah, I dig, I like, and that's the one I'm reaching out more to lately. Like, so I'm not going to promise anything. I'm talking to Moses. Moses is always welcome back. The idea was to actually set up us three.
You need a female voice of reason. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
my wise words will steer you in the right direction.
And we got a good rapport going, and we banter pretty well.
When I don't cower from the microphone, yes.
Yes, when you don't cower from the microphone, it's actually pretty interesting. We can go.
I'm getting better. I swear.
Yeah. So and I've. Oh, I guess, and then my next thing, equipment wise, I've invested quite a bit.
That is true. Yeah.
That's true. And so now we have the digital recorder, we have the dynamic mics. The condenser mics are always in play because they're somewhere in Moses' place, I'm sure. and if the mixer hasn't been taken back, I'll jack the mixer. I always have the audio interface at home too. So if I needed to work on not talking over each other, which was a big problem with the original format.
That and fiddling with the mics and making that really annoying clanking noise.
That did suck. I really did fucking hate that.
And Moses' squeaky chair, but he fixed that. Thank you, Moses.
And with the digital recorder, we don't have to actually do it at Moses' place, and it's less equipment.
That is true.
I could just put this on a tripod, and we get decent audio content.
Just don't wave your arms around too much and knock it over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta find a nice place to land this, and then we can just shoot the breeze all around it as if we're sitting around a bonfire or some shit.
That could be fun.
Yeah, that's how I see it actually happening. I brought up equipment, so yes, I invested on equipment. No one forced me to invest on equipment.
No,
I did it on my own. I'll admit, I did all this shit on my own because I was the one who was driven to do it.
You were passionate. Yes.
Nobody else wanted to do it. Oscar does not want to do it. He just wants to see where the chips land. I don't know how much of this is actually going to go up on a pod.
I don't know either.
But I really needed to record this to get this fucking out of my system.
It's very therapeutic, yes.
Yes, it is. It's right now. It feels like a hodgepodge. I probably could have been more succinct and gone through the steps, although through the things better. Just know this. The podcast idea originally was a video chat thing that Oscar wanted to do. I suggested doing a podcast. Moses seconded that. So the idea, people ask, where did the Palaver Project come from? The name came from Moses.
Oh.
The name came from Moses. At that point, we decided we needed to come up with an image to that. I made the image. All the images you see for all the logos, I did. The Palaver Project, that's Moses' name. That's where he came from. Oscar was just kind of there for the ride. I think the first couple of episodes, when we were talking about more of the, I wouldn't say meta, but we were just covering broad.
The first death episode, I think he contributed to that one too.
I think that was really well done. I think we did a couple good. If it wasn't for the audio quality just being poor, I would say go back to it. No, you know what? Still go back to it. They're still pretty good.
Those are the ones I listen to while I'm falling asleep. I give them an A+.
I think it was towards the end where he just kind of went.
He went shock jock.
He went full on shock jock. That's when it kind of got bad. When he went full on shock jock, that's where I had to kind of talk to him more and tell him try not to do this. We got audiences and we have people downloading from Britain. We have people downloading from the Philippines and Mexico and Germany, France, and it's let's try not to, let's try to hang on to these guys. And unfortunately,
maybe don't say penis in the first 30 seconds of every episode.
And maybe we can hang on to some of the female listeners.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, there's a lot of female podcast listeners out there, and I would like to corner the market there. Yeah, right. I won't be able to corner the market, but at least I have a piece of the pie, please.
Yes.
And then Moses is just, he's Captain Charisma. He knows it. So I'm not talking out of school here. He totally knows it. He admits it. He is the man. We all know he is. I even told him. He knows. We've spent a few times where I talk to him and tell him, hey, look, this is a vehicle for you. Like, someone's gonna pick. Like, you're gonna listen to you, and they're gonna want you for something else.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna want that because you have a voice that attracts. And you have a lot of talent, and you're 30-something years old, and it's about time that you showcase it. And this is an opportunity to showcase it. And he did. He maximized. I think he did. There were moments where he shined big time.
I wish he had plugged his art a little bit more, though.
He eventually did do it on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. So he started being more. And like right now, he's a little more active on Facebook. So
cool.
That's good, you know. He's on his trip to Israel. So I wish him well. I hope he's back in full 100% energy, and maybe we can do something together again, because he does have a talent. I really think those he could sell that art, you know. And hopefully, if I set up that online store through that website, maybe I can maybe we can post some of his stuff up there, and he can get a commission.
He could do some designs for us too.
You know, because no one else has fucking done it. No one's thought that ahead. I've done so many logos now that I think I could probably have a couple of shirts on there and stickers.
I'd buy one. I'd like a sweatshirt though. You know me and my sweatshirt.
Yeah. Now that we're at 2,000 listeners.
Oh, you did it?
We
passed it?
We passed it. Yeah. It was on $19.99 for like the longest.
That's what I was waiting
And then it finally turned.
Yes.
And we are at over 2,000 listeners, and
officially famous now.
That's something there, you know. It's from that. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that we did it. Because it was a group effort. That's Moses there. That's Thomas. That's Oscar. That's even you, Rachel. I mean, you helped out. Mary, the same thing. You know, being. Listeners included. It's like, if you guys share the podcast, I mean, I'm gonna thank the guys at the Beyond Every Toy Aisle podcast. I mean, they gave me a shout out a couple of times. I mean, Eduardo was the last episode. That was really cool of him to help out. So, it wasn't just me, and it's never just me. It was me because it's me and it's not me, it's a group effort that we got this thing going. It's just my gripe is that it wasn't me behind the scenes trying to get everybody to, trying to motivate people to do it.
The technical aspect of it.
The technical aspect was me, but the support was there from a few,
Yeah.
So I have to give credit where credit's due. So it's a mixed bag, just such as life is. It's a fucking mixed bag.
It's very philosophical.
Yeah, exactly. Are we all friends? Yeah, we're all kind of still friends. As long as they want to message me, they can message me. I'm not ghosting anybody. That's not my MO. If that's somebody else's way of handling things, that's their way, and that's their choice. But no, I messaged the day after I kind of told him, hey, I'm going to go solo now. I messaged Moses, told him, I sent him some gifs and memes to make him chuckle a little bit, just because I didn't see it as like a friend ending thing.
It shouldn't be. You guys have been friends long enough that I don't think they may be butthurt for a little while, but I think they'll.
I think if anybody needed to be butthurt, well, yeah, they should be butthurt. But if anybody's supposed to be like hurt, I'm disappointed because, and that's nothing new. It's like you put and that's what I kind of learned. That's why I wanted to be solo. I wanted to go solo so I don't have expectations anymore. I don't want to place expectations on people, because it's not fair to them to put expectations, because I have a vision. I have a vision of what this podcast could be.
Yeah.
and I see potential in my friends, and I want to, let's be face it, I want to exploit it. I want to exploit their talent
in a positive way.
Well, yes, because then grow them into become personalities, and so that they can grow a fan base, and they can get their ideas out there and their comments, and people can say, hey, I really like Thomas Rodriguez. I really dig Oscar Sandoval's this and that. And I really dig Moses Ocasio because he's the best. I mean, I really want people to talk about my friends because my friends do matter. I mean, look at the way I do my format now.
Yeah.
I do one-on-one. Why? Because I'm trying to showcase a person I know, an individual for what they are.
Yeah.
Because there's more to them than their 9 to 5. There's more to them than what meets the eye sometimes.
That is true.
And sometimes they forget. Sometimes they forget who they are. And it's nice to be able to dive into what made them, their backstory, or what motivates them, what motivates them now, or what they're doing on the side, which really their passions.
Yeah, so few people actually work with their passions these days.
So it's that's what it is. That's what the Palaver Project is. It's like our words aren't wasted, you know? It really isn't wasted. You're like the day to day when we talk and shoot the breeze, it's not a waste. People are listening. Believe it or not, Rachel, like somebody listens to you, you know? Believe it or not, someone listens to Moses, and someone listens to Oscar, and someone listens to Thomas, and myself. God willing, someone's listening to me. and it affects them to a point.
That is
you
true.
know?
Yes.
It affects them. Palaver is an ironic fucking title. If you look, Rob Tosh, I'm gonna give him a shout out over at Comics and Stuff. He asked. He was like, I went to go buy some comics the other day, and I mentioned it's like, hey, you're on the same toy group as Eduardo Pineda and myself, and he's like, oh yeah, so you did that. You're from the Palaver Project, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you did that podcast. Well, I saw that post you did. Yeah, it's like, yeah. He's like, I've listened to an episode or two. I liked the Simpsons one. It was funny. And he says, I'm still trying to figure out what Palaver Project is, though. And I basically had to kind of give him the definition. You know, it's aimless, it's pointless conversation. It's aimless, pointless conversation. But there lies the irony behind it, because nothing really is pointless. It just depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
It's like you're tuning in, and you might think, okay, if you really feel like this is a waste of your time, then it's your waste of your time. Then it really is a palaver for you. So you're moving on. Okay, fine. Thanks for trying. Thanks for listening. But if you're tuning in week after week, or every other couple of weeks, you know, you're coming back. That's the irony of it. It's like it's not really a palaver. It actually means something to you. Because it's more than just, you know, in the aimless, pointless conversations you have. I mean, look, we're a couple yards away from a couple of dudes from our job, our super secret job.
Fighting crime.
They're hanging. They have families to go home to. We have families to go home to. We have things to do in our daily lives. But we hang around here and we shoot the breeze. And you could say a lot of the time is like a bunch of nonsense. It's thrown about. But why do we do it? Because it stirs a reaction with us. Because we like it. We either get a laugh, or we learn something insightful, or it stirs debate, or it's just conversation. It's camaraderie. You know, it's something. You're getting something out of it. So it's not pointless.
Everyone craves a basic human connection, whether or not it has deep value or is just talking about what you had for lunch that day. It's just you want some form of a connection with somebody at the end of the day.
Yeah, and for myself, this is the form of doing it, you know? This is a method. Because you see me walking around in my super serious job in which we have.
Yes. Fighting crime.
Fighting crime. You don't see us, we're the backdrop of Americana, but you know we're doing something. Anyways, I'm super serious, and people don't approach me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they do not approach me. They don't come and converse with me because they're afraid they're going to get their head chewed off.
I have had some critiques of that, yes.
Yes, and this is nothing new. I'm the same at other jobs. I mean, luckily, when I was working at the UPS store, starting off, or Target, when I first started working, you know, I could socialize with the people around me, and you know, but when I was like between work hours, I was mostly very serious. You know, when a customer needed a bit of help, I'm serious. But my friends know me that I could talk, that I can talk. But they do take it they do take it so lightly now that it's like they can talk over me now because it's just so easy now. But I felt like I needed to find a spot where my voice could be projected, and it could be like I can get a point across, or I could stir up a conversation. Because I can do that. If you ever notice that, we can go on tandem for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Because I can transition to another topic easy. It's so easy to transition with me, and keep a conversation going.
Yeah, we've had some long ones, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I really thought that I could do that and showcase that on a podcast. Oscar noticed it. Oscar pointed it out. I was like, that's why he wanted to do the video talk. And that's why we started like, let's just do a podcast first. It's less equipment, and we can see if we like it, then we do video. So that's how we did it. So Moses came up with the name Palaver Project. I pitched the podcast idea, and he came up with the name, and I did the setup so that no one had to worry, because if you left it to other people to do, it would never get done.
That is true. I agree with you there.
It would never get done. So I ended up pushing it. I set up the hosting site. We have the hosting on Podbean. I got ourselves on Apple, on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and where are we on now? I think we're like on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Castbox, I think we're on there too. Shit, like we're all over the place now.
Podbean is still my favorite.
It's okay. I like Spotify's format. I like the interface. I like the way it looks. I like the black backdrop and the green.
Yes. Yeah, I had to try that one out that one time. I couldn't figure out the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to give me a hand on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm handling like the social media accounts too, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's who you're talking to if you ever message back to those stuff. You're talking to me. Yeah, surprise. So, you know, and then oh man, it's embarrassing, but I have to mention it. It's like I have to rally the guys to share the podcast episodes, because they don't do it on their own. I had to tell them, like, you know, make sure you share. Thomas never shared a one post. He never shared a single thing. He liked stuff on Instagram, but he never shared it on his timeline. It's like, okay, so obviously you're not proud of your product. That's why you're not sharing it, you know?
I happen to know the secret way how you got Moses to do it.
Oh, the super secret way. Okay, so he gave me access to his Facebook. And he told me, look, you just do it. I'm not a Facebook guy. I'm like, all right. Whatever it gets to people to like and follow the podcast, I'll do it. It means, you know, less work for you, a little extra for me in between my duties here in my super secret job.
Fighting crime.
Fighting crime. So I did it. I accommodated. You know, we accommodated on the scheduling. Accommodated on the topics. Try to find an even ground in terms of like people's styles and stuff. But it was hard. It got to the point where it was getting stressful because I was trying to manage them.
Yeah, they were like a bunch of toddlers that you couldn't keep in the same room for
more
than 5 minutes.
Moses was really trying though. I gotta give him. He was, because like he would say like, let's do conference calls. I'm like, okay, I'm all on board. You know, I don't think Thomas was ever on a conference call.
No.
I think Oscar maybe. I don't think Oscar either. I think it was just me and Moses.
Yeah, I think so.
I think, and then I would relay some of the stuff to you, and and I just, oh man, it just, Moses really did try. He really did. Like, there were a couple of things I brought to his attention, and he adjusted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oscar was a different cat. Oscar would tell me, like, Michael, if you're not happy, just stop doing it. I'm like, you bastard. I'm like the one who put so much investment into it. It's like, obviously I want this thing to fly. I just want you guys to kind of catch up. It's like, Michael, I'm just here to just, I'm just here to talk. And I'm not taking this as a job. I mean, this is just a hobby. I'm like, a hobby? It's like a hobby. It's like a hobby you just do like once a month or every couple of weeks or something like that. When you're doing something like this, it's like, this is something a little more. This is like a passion project, Yeah. So, Oscar was just like saying, you know what? If you're not happy, don't do it. I'm like, no. If I'm not happy, I won't do it with you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's not happy with you, not with the project.
Yeah, like I'm happy that I'm constantly learning and I'm keep getting better. In fact, I've been thinking about going back and redoing the episodes, like fixing the audio if I can.
That could be kind of cool.
It'll be a bit of a task, but I mean, it's worth it. Just to kind of make sure people who are listening to the old episodes, I can't fix episode 1. Episode 1 is just the audio quality. We were working on 2 mics, I think. 1 or 2 mics we were working on, and that was it.
Is that the superpowers one?
Yeah.
Yes. That's one of my favorite ones, though.
It's good for the content, but for the audio, it's tough. That's another thing that Rob brought up to me. It's like some other podcast that we both mutually listen to, their audio content isn't. I mean, the content is good. Their quality sucks.
Yeah.
It needs to be fixed. The locations they do it, and the way they handle the mic, or they're doing some stuff from the phone, or whatever it is. It hasn't gotten better. And I told him, it's like, yeah, I haven't been trying to do better. It's like it's cost money, but I've been trying to do better. And money hasn't been an object. I've upgraded my mics. I've gotten a digital recorder so I can do things on the go. And I've bought a new computer so it can handle all the different multitasking stuff I wanted to do.
I finally got you away from Apple products.
Yes. Well,
success.
you had a part in that, but I mean overall, I think
Give
overall,
me credit.
yeah, I took your opinion into account. Took many
That's
people's
all I'm
opinions.
asking. You just had to slip that one in at the end.
Hey, Daryl was a convincer too.
Oh, that's
Daryl
true.
wanted me to go for something cheap though. Daryl Pamplin, friend of the show. I think he's still friend of the show. Would you consider? I guess he is a friend. He's a friend.
Yes. A
But-
tentative friend.
Yeah.
On the outside.
On the
looking in.
outside looking in, I would like him to listen to a podcast once in a while.
Hear that, Daryl?
No, he doesn't.
Get your ass in
No.
gear, Daryl.
No, he won't hear that. That's the thing.
Damn it, Daryl.
Yeah. But have I covered everything?
I think you were pretty thorough. Yes.
I think I covered. Yeah, I think people have an understanding of why I left why I abandoned the group concept.
Yes. Yeah.
But and no one's really no one's like actually clamored for the group to come back. I've had personal, like, I've had messages from people from other podcasters saying, hey, we like the change. That definitely sounds cleaner now.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. It's still kind of, growth isn't there yet. I haven't grown it where I want it to grow yet. So I have to mix it up. So I've been thinking about it. I've been dreading the idea, but I've been thinking about maybe I need to go back to a group collab.
It's smaller.
What is the future of the Palaver Project? Many ask.
I don't think we know yet, Michael.
I don't think we know.
Still experimenting.
I don't want to depend on anybody.
Yes, we all know your trust issues.
And I have an image issue. That's the reason why. I cut back with Moses. That was the Moses when he heard me go I just want to get I want to grow this and stuff, and he's just like, well, I just thought that we were just hanging out. I think you have an image problem. I'm like, yes, I do. That's why I'm going to shift my image, and I'm going to make this a one-on-one podcast. I mean, I was just an ass.
You were.
I'm an ass. But we're all assholes.
We are.
It's a group of assholes,
I am
and
an
so
asshole and proud of it.
I'm preaching. I'm just like I'm talking to their language.
Yes.
They just don't like when I talk their language back.
Exactly. They don't like it when you're right. Oh God, I just admitted that.
Thank
out loud.
you.
No.
Oh, so darn hot. Climate change. Am I right, folks? Not knowing what to wear with all this wacky weather? Let the Palaver Project help you with your wardrobe. There's a Palaver for all seasons. T-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, even onesies for your offspring. Go to tpublic.com and spend to your heart's content. Maybe you don't wear clothes. Well, nudists still need to use the phone, so get yourself a brand new Palaver Project phone case. Alright. If you're like me and need to drink gallons upon gallons of coffee, then the Palaver Project coffee mug is just right for you. Now, I wouldn't recommend it for nudists. That may scold a bit. Ouch! That cherry red. That navy blue. Colors so natural, only your tailor knows for sure. Love that palaver. Go to TeePublic right now and spend to your heart's content. Get yours today!
Operators are standing by. Warning, wearing Palaver Project clothing may increase your cool factor by 1000%. Go to tpublic.com. Keyword the Palaver Project.
I'm trying to be candid with this one. This is a candid conversation. I'm not holding anything back. I might piss off a couple of people.
That's okay. We're assholes. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, in the over the 20 some odd years I've known these guys, they've pissed me off a couple of times and did a couple of things they regret too.
I have personally witnessed that, yes.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I'm not saying I'm regretting anything I'm saying. I'm just being honest.
Oh, yeah.
But if they get a little hurt in the feels,
Buttercup.
Thank you. Pretty much. Pretty much. I like to do something with all of them down the road, but I just hope they bring I hope they bring it next time. Yeah. And this time with zero liability. Now it's just going to be just maybe one-on-ones with them. If they want to do a group collab and they want a piece of the pie in terms of credit, like they want their name on there too as hosts and stuff like that, they're going to have to bring something to the table more than just mic time.
That is true.
It's got to be more than mic time, guys. I mean, everybody who's a podcaster who's, doing me the favor of listening to this episode, they know it's more than just mic time. It really is. You're not just talent. This isn't an audio drama where you're just coming in, doing your acting and doing your voiceover, and then you're leaving, and you're gonna let the editor do whatever. No. This was a group collaboration. That means everybody has to do something. So it's not that right now. If it wants to be that way again, whoever's interested has to do it. So, Rachel Johnson, if you really want to be a voice of the Palaver Project, are you willing to do more than just mic time?
I am willing to do more than mic time.
Wow, there you have it, folks. She's willing to do more than mic time. I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe you need to just download Photoshop or something.
I should. I have contributed some photos in the past.
Yes, you have.
I have.
A few ideas here and there. You are creative. And Moses has been creative too. So, I don't have a problem with Moses coming back. I don't have a problem with you joining, as long as everybody's committed. Commitment.
I am committed.
And, if we say, hey, we need to have a conference call, and, everyone needs to talk about what we're going to talk about, then we all should fucking show up and talk about it. And no excuses. It's oh, guys, I'm sorry I can't pick up the phone. I'm just twiddling my thumbs over here, and that just seems much more enjoyable.
You may need to show me how to participate in a conference call.
I will show you.
I am stunted when it comes to technology, but I will try.
I will try. So this is an invite to I guess it's an invite to Moses to complete the trio.
Do it, Moses.
Yeah,
Come
Moses,
back to us.
come back, man.
We love you.
We love you. We just want you to come home. We just want you to come home, baby. We just want you home.
It's like the end scene of Homeward Bound where the golden retriever comes over the hill.
He's gonna. I will hope and pray that he makes his miraculous comeback. But until then, you're gonna still see more 101s. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I like those too.
All right. I think this is good enough. I think we're done here.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Should I just sign off? Was this one big episode?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what you're gonna do with it and edit. But
I got a lot of grievances with everybody.
as you were, people.
For Rachel Johnson and Michael Rivera, this has been the Palaver Project.
As you were.
What she said.